Israel said they would retaliate against Iran's attack last weekend, and they did early this morning. Israel launched limited retaliatory airstrikes in Iran, Iraq, and Syria early in the morning. Sources told Fox News that the United States was not involved but was notified prior to the attack. Explosions were confirmed in Iran's Isfahan province, which is where Natanz, one of Iran's nuclear facilities, is located. But according to Fox, the targets hit were not nuclear or civilian. The International Atomic Energy Agency confirmed on X this morning that there is no damage, and Iranian media reports a calm scene in Iran today. We're still awaiting any comments from Pentagon officials or the White House on this unfolding situation. All eyes are certainly on the Middle East, and we must remain prayerful. Just hours before Israel's retaliation, Iran's Foreign Minister Hossein Amir Abdullahian told CNN that if Israel takes further military action against Iran, its response would be, quote, immediate and at a maximum level. As was anticipated, the United States vetoed a United Nations Security Council resolution to grant full membership to Palestine on Thursday.
Those against? Thank you.
12 countries voted in support. The UK and Switzerland abstained. Reportedly, the Biden administration lobbied many of the 15 Security Council members to join it in rejecting the measure, but U.S. Ambassador to the UN, Robert Wood, stood alone, voting no.
This vote does not reflect opposition to Palestinian statehood, but instead is an acknowledgement that it will only come from direct negotiations between the parties.
State Department spokesperson Vedant Patel warned earlier in the day Thursday that voting for statehood was premature.
Now, you served in the United States military. I want to get your assessment of Israel's retaliatory strike on Iran. And will this escalate tensions or make Iran realize, they are vulnerable?
I've been listening to Iran, and I don't think that Iran wants to escalate this. The only retaliation that they did was just merely show in response. But I do think that the weakness that Iran is showing may allow those who are banging the war drums the opportunity to actually start a war while the fervor is against Iran in all of this.
Okay, let's jump to Donald Trump's current trial that he's in. Should Judge Juan Merchan, should he be concerned about impartiality and fairness since he slapped a gag order on Donald Trump, but not on a witness in the trial, Michael Cohen, who's out on the media circuit right now?
Well, I'm going to tell you what, if Judge Manchin was actually concerned about his behavior and being overturned when this was done, he wouldn't be doing what he's doing. He has to know that his behavior is not borderline, but is actually subject to being overturned. Unfortunately, I think his behavior is actually intentional, and his activist judiciary practice is merely a cog in the political wheel.
Wow. Okay, here's another cog. America trained people in Niger to perform a coup. They were successful, and now 1,100 U.S. troops are stranded in the African nation. Congressman Matt Gaetz of Florida called out the Biden administration on a Real America's Voice. Here it is.
Joe Biden and Tony Blinken would rather avoid their own embarrassment than do the right thing for our troops. They're having to plan whether or not they're going to evacuate through Ghana if, in fact, some Benghazi-style attack occurs.
Chrisanne, why is the State Department covering this dangerous situation up for American troops?
Well, I think the fact that they are and the disgraceful way they're covering it up is to hide the incompetency of the Secretary of Defense. And their disregard and their contempt for the U.S. service members and congressional oversight is more than borderline treasonous.
Yeah, it seems like the entire House is on fire right now, whether it's the entire world. And I believe, as a believer, it gives us a wake-up call and signs that we need to prepare our heart and our minds, not get in fear about all this, but just lift up your heads. Your redemption draweth nigh. Chrisanne, thank you so much. Back to you in just a moment.